Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics on Facebook, and follow them on Instagram.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Pinup, Cool Cats, and Comics. We have Teresa back this week.
I'm back.
And we have a special call-in again tonight. Last week we had Trevor Gillies, which was really cool, which we'll recap
Very
later
cool.
on.
Very, very sad I missed that, but very happy Billy was here.
Yes. And we have Chris Roach calling in tonight. He should be calling in a couple of minutes. If you don't know who he is, you haven't been paying attention to anything. The guy's great comic. He's an actor. He's Mont and Kevin Can Wait and a bunch of other things which we go over when he calls in. So I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to start tuning in. Make sure you share our show. I also want to give a shout out to Cyclone. Make sure you watch his show, In the Cage with Cyclone. It's right before us every Monday night, and he goes over basically any fighting sport, whether it's wrestling, MMA, boxing. He's even, there's enough fighting in hockey, so he's discussed that too.
I know a lot of my friends and customers are really into MMA, so
right.
Good show to watch.
So before Chris calls in, let's just go to our sponsor so I make sure I get that in. We're going to talk about Kayla Logistics. And Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. Moving products you use every day across the country and around the world. Contact Frank Zambuto for all of your domestic and international logistic projects. Frank has over 20 years experience working with many name brand companies in the apparel, cosmetics, as seen on TV, and electronic industries. For trucking, air, and ocean cargo on all 7 continents, all you need is one solution. To all Cool Cat listeners, just mention our show and Frank will offer a free cost and transit time analysis for all your cargo. When cost and time matter, we deliver. Frank Zambuto and Kayla Logistics, where your business is our priority. And what's his number?
His number is 347-536-3933.
All right, and just another thing too. Things are getting crazy right now with the China trade deal, and nobody knows what's going on with tariffs and stuff. But Frankie does. You call Frank, he'll know what's going on. He knows all you need to know about that. So any questions, you can give him a call, and he will explain it to you. So Chris is going to be calling in a minute. Again, he's a Long Island guy, very cool guy. He's been on Kevin Can Wait. He's been in a bunch of things which I have here. And he's got his own podcast and stuff, which hopefully he'll be calling in any second.
Hysterical
and we'll talk all about that. He's really funny and really cool. Really cool. So
let's see.
Let me just tell him to call whenever he's ready.
It's a long list over here. Oh, he's been on a lot more than I thought.
Yes. So I just sent that off.
Nice.
And we're going to be checking live. I see, what's up, Frank Valentino?
Hi, Frank.
And of course, V and Tony are watching.
Very supportive of significant others. Thank you.
And while we're waiting for the call in, also, the GoFundMe that we had going for Alex, we're going to end tomorrow.
We're going to end it tomorrow. So let's talk about that later.
We will
talk about that later.
Good segue. Hey, Chris, you there?
I'm here.
All right.
Hello.
So once again, like I was saying before, we have Christopher Brian Roach on. He's a comedian. He's an actor. He's done lots of things, and we have him live on air. So what's going on, Chris?
Thank you so much.
What's going on, Dennis? Who do you got there with you?
I have my co-host Teresa with me. I don't believe you met her yet.
We have not, no.
Oh, hi, Teresa.
Hi, Chris.
But it's funny because I know we got a few things in common. For one, I know you started, about 15, 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, that was about 15 years ago. Comedy, yeah.
You used to go around with Billy Mira, right?
Billy Mira, Mink, yeah.
Yeah,
Billy Mira.
I've known Billy a long time. We're pretty good friends. I know him before he was anybody. I mean, he was always somebody.
Yeah.
That's not true, though.
He always had to be
because he was always an entertainer. When I met him, he was actually in Whiskey Road already. But he hadn't started the comedy and Howard Stern yet, which is really what I meant by that. But he always talked about you throughout the years. He's like, oh, this guy Chris I work with, really funny guy. Watch out for him. One day he's going to make it. And sure enough, you did.
Well, I guess you make it or trying to make it.
Well, at least you're a household name, at least on Long Island. I know that.
At least in Ronkonkoma.
Yes. Speaking
that
of which,
video.
not only do you have the video, but I see you just recently got the key to Ronkonkoma.
Yes, please don't hate me. I got the key to Ronkonkoma. I was not expecting it. I was just doing a local show, and the Chamber of Commerce put it together, and the local legislator dude came out and presented me with the key and some other proclamation that I have to get a frame for. But they said I'm the first recipient of the key to Ronkonkoma. I'm like, okay.
That's pretty
You
cool.
know what? That's pretty impressive. It really is.
Yeah, hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah. But I know I used to work for Cablevision's at Tech, and I know you used to be a Pixel.
Oh my goodness, the Optimum Cable Pixel. That was a fun experience, and they ran it like crazy, and it was a non-union job, so I got like a flat rate for it, and they ran it like crazy all over the place, jumbotron, and it was people. I saw kids that year dressed as a Pixel for Halloween.
Yeah, that was a big deal. Those commercials actually went over very well. That was probably the
Yeah.
best promo Cablevision's ever done.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I still remember all of them.
Yeah. Oh, I had a lot of fun doing it. We filmed it at the Brooklyn Navy Yard, and there's probably about, I would say, about 50 or so extras just standing around, and they had us all spaced out. So the director was like kind of directing us with a bullhorn. Like he'd be like, "All right, yellow, 7th row, please stop itching." That was a lot of fun.
That's funny. And a couple.
What is I'm sorry to cut you off. What is your podcast called again?
It's called Pinups, Cool Cats, and Comics.
That's what I meant to ask you. The pinups, because I saw pictures of you with some muscle cars with some nice eye candy sitting on top. Is that what it's about? You guys talking about cars and stuff?
Well, basically, the Cool Cat covers everything, but the pinup portion of it is my co-host Teresa, who was a pinup model,
It was, yeah.
and I'm trying to push her to get back into it again.
Word.
Actually, the pictures that you saw were my old coworkers from a company I used to work for. So
Was that you sitting on top of the car?
it is not, unfortunately.
Okay,
But
I'd
I
be
do have
I'd be
pictures of
very
me sitting on
embarrassed right
other
now.
cars. So
She'll have to send you some because she does have some good pictures as
yeah, my
well.
picture actually hanging up in a
Especially
whole
with my
bunch of
wife in
like
the next room.
auto bodies and stuff. So
Just tell your wife it's part of the job. You had to do your
What's
research
that?
on the show. Yeah, I know you did. Before we actually get into what your career is now, I know you had a few other things too. Another similarity, he used to be a bouncer as well.
Yeah, I guess that's what you would call it. I was not a very good bouncer.
was it a bouncer or a doorman?
Oh, what that?
Was it a were you a bouncer or were you a doorman? Because doorman sounds a little bit classier. No offense.
Yeah, doorman's classy. A doorman's the guy that stands at the door, checks ID. So I've done that. But I have actually, there were times where I was inside. There was a club on Route 110 in Farmingdale called Siberia. And I remember bouncing there. I was in good shape. But I was just in there to meet the ladies,
There you go.
That's why we all did it.
That's one way, for sure.
Yeah. I didn't care if people beat each other up. I said, okay, you guys stop fighting. And that was it. Yeah, I remember one guy came up to me with like a bloody nose. He's like, that guy over there punched me in the mouth. I was like, go over there. I'll be right there.
And if you don't
There
know
was
what
always,
Chris
like,
looks
you know,
like,
There was like 15 of us, so there was always like 5 guys that were eager to get involved.
yeah. But Chris makes me look small.
Really?
Yeah. You're 6'6", right?
6'6", yes, I am, sir.
So yes, I don't know
What
if
did
you
you
saw the
bounce?
picture of us together. He makes me look tiny. But yeah, I wouldn't want to mess with you in a club. I know that.
So where did you? When did you do security, as we say?
I used to work at the Big Easy, which is no longer there. I used to work at
He was my
Otto's in
bouncer.
Freeport. I used to be Teresa's bouncer in Belmore Billiards. Those
Is that
were
how you
the
guys met?
official ones. I'm
That's how
sorry?
you met?
Yeah, that's how we met.
That's how we got close. We met
Yeah.
before that. I bartended for almost 10 years, and I used to work at a lot of like karaoke places. So we met.
Oh, yes. Dennis is very big on karaoke.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
Love songs in particular.
What song does he know?
I don't know. Which song do you know that
Because we have one song in
Yeah.
particular. So if you're
Oh, really?
cheating
I was-
on me, I'm going to be really
I was
upset.
I was more or less joking around, but tell me more.
Well, when we worked together at the pool hall, every Thursday, I can't sing. I'm like a dying cat. It's very unfortunate because I come from a very musical family. And I would yell, Dennis would sing Me So Horny. And we did it
Oh my
together
goodness.
every Thursday for like 3 years.
Yes. We even did it in New Orleans.
We did it in New Orleans, a bunch of local bars that just happen to have karaoke. It's our song.
Yeah.
Hysterical.
We'll get a video for you one day. It's gold.
That must be a sight.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. And you used to be a cop too, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I was only for like 2 years, 2.5 years, and I was like my two brothers, my sister, my dad, all were cops, and I tried it. It wasn't for me. I didn't.
Were you too nice?
I never felt comfortable writing someone a $80 summons that I knew that I couldn't afford. It wasn't for me. So I lasted about 2.5 years, and I moved on.
Were you in Nassau or were you in the city?
In the city, I was stationed in Queens, actually. Queens Marines, as they call us.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually currently
Yeah.
a corrections officer, so that's similarity too.
Just going down the line.
Yeah.
All the
Oh,
similarities
that's right.
you guys got going on.
You were corrections.
Yeah, because I figured in another 10 years, maybe I'll get a spot on the sitcom. That's what I'm shooting for.
Are you? Oh, that'd be great. Are you still active? Are you still in
Yes.
corrections?
As a matter of fact, I'm going in later tonight. So.
Where do you go, to Rikers?
No, it's in Nassau County Jail.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, still, what do you normally got to do? Like give them sandwiches or something?
Kind of. Yeah, just keep everybody in line. Make sure nobody kills each other or us.
Oh, no shoelaces.
Yeah. And I missed all the people at billiards, so I figured I had to get a job where I see them again.
Oh, God, yeah.
That's great. Is that what you guys are doing? This out of the billiard place or no?
No. I was just joking. It's funny because my career of bouncing ended there, my corrections career started, and billiards no longer exists. The bar is shut down. So.
It was the kind of bar where
okay.
anything goes. Like
And I have run into customers from billiards
I
in
believe
jail.
it.
So.
A lot of fights broke out. A lot of drug addicts. A lot of crazy people.
It was a fun bar.
It was actually a lot of fun.
It really was.
That sounds like my kind of place.
Now, what I wanted to get into with you is because we've discussed this before with other comedians and stuff, people being labeled as an overnight success. And what they don't realize is all the behind the scenes leading up to that overnight, which usually is about 15 to 20 years. So you want to talk about how you got your big break?
Yeah, that's the overnight success thing is that's more or less a myth. I think your overnight success to people who don't know you, but there's of course the 15 years in the trenches, and I was performing. It was a Wednesday night at McGuire's in Bohemia, and it was probably like 30 people in the crowd or something like that, and Kevin James was in town. He walked in just as I was walking on stage, so the timing was right, and he got to get a good look at me. And at that time, they had the idea of the type of characters that they wanted for the show, and I seemed to fit one of those characters very well. I didn't meet him that night. I met him a couple months later, and then I saw the audition come out. I auditioned, and they called me up, and next thing I know, I'm on set with him, which was crazy.
Wow.
Because I never, being that we grew up near each other, I never met him before. I never knew him. And season 1 was phenomenal, and then season 2, I'm at rehearsal sitting between the two of them one day. That's these two icons in sitcom history, and I'm sitting between them like, this is crazy. I'm just some dude from Ronkonkoma. It's crazy. So that's, if you want to call that overnight, you can, but that was a long time coming. That was a long time of acting classes and open mics and years.
Well, that's what we
honing
talk
my
about.
craft.
Like
It
so
all
many.
came together,
Absolutely, and I don't mean to interrupt, but there's so much work involved and so much time involved, and people don't understand all the work that's put in before you get your quote unquote big break. That's really the timing for you is pretty perfect.
Yeah, I mean, there's some kind of saying like that, that luck equals uh, talent plus timing or something like that, or just being prepared for the right moment
Timing's
to pop up.
everything.
Yeah.
In every aspect of life, timing is everything.
Yeah, I mean, he could have walked in when I got off stage, and he would have never seen me.
Exactly.
You know?
Right. And
But
that's
he
what I was
walked in,
going
it
to say,
was
too.
like, I got the call that afternoon. And they asked me if I just wanted to do a spot. I said, yeah, I wasn't doing anything, and I went in. and I got discovered in Bohemia, Long Island.
Wow. Yeah, because I was going to say, because as you know, because you still actively do stand-up, there's a lot of funny comics out there that have been doing this for 20, 30 years that just haven't gotten
Yep.
that opportunity to really get noticed. So, luck definitely
Yeah.
has to play a part in it.
Oh yeah, there are so many comics that have stories of like almost. There are so many comics that we know that were like right there. They were right there. They had deals that fell through or something happened, and oh man, so many people I know that have stories just of having pilots that were filmed, and never went anywhere. But I feel fortunate at least to get 2 years out. I was hoping it was going to last longer. It looked like it was going to last a few more years, but it didn't work out that way. So right now I'm trying to stay positive and wait for the next opportunity.
Yeah, it sucks because I really enjoyed the show, and maybe we were partial to it because it was a very heavily Long Island-based show.
Which is really exciting for
And
Long Island.
a lot of local Long Island comics would go on and do cameos and stuff.
Yeah.
As long as one of your mentors, Carrie Karavis, and it was great. Just like I know these people, I've seen them,
Yeah.
and it is a shame because I would like to have seen where that show went if it lasted a few more years.
Isn't it amazing that a lot of people don't know this, and some people might say otherwise, but when I first started doing comedy, the word that I heard from other comics was that the character of Carrie on Kevin on Just King of Queens was based on Carrie Karavis.
Really?
Some people may tell you otherwise, but that's a lot of people. There's a lot of people that feel strongly that was the case, that her character was based on Carrie, and here they are meeting together in a scene where I'm sure Leah Remini has no idea about that.
Right.
That she's talking in a scene with a woman that her character was ultimately based on. That's crazy when you think about it.
I don't know Carrie that well, but I could definitely see that. Just from seeing her.
Well, that's the
stand-up
thing.
and stuff.
If you watch King of Queens, and you look at the character, and if you know Carrie well, you're like, oh, come on, it's like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Wow. But some people may say otherwise.
Wow, that's something else. Yeah, 'cause you mentioned it before about acting and acting classes. I just saw something you posted. You're going to be doing a seminar or something?
Oh yeah, I'm going to with my the first ever acting class I took was 15 years ago, and I always stayed in touch with her. We stayed good friends, Lori Ann Davis, and we decided together to teach a sitcom acting workshop. With obviously things that I learned on set, but also things that I learned from my other acting teacher, Joanna Bexon, who taught a sitcom acting workshop. And I asked her if it was okay if I taught one. She gave me her blessing, and which was big for me because I just felt better that she taught me everything I know about sitcoms. Just to get her blessing was big, and so that, and with Lori, who has a lot of great experience being an acting teacher for like over 25 years, and she's really great with helping you prepare for a role and mental, emotional preparation. She's really good at a lot of the key factors that it takes to be an actor. So the two of us together, it's I don't know why we didn't think of it sooner.
Now that's a whole course you got to take, right? You can't just do 1 or 2 weeks of it.
Yeah, it's a course. I think we just put out the flyer. I think it's an 8. Yeah, it's an 8-week course or 6-week. But we're doing one for different age groups.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. You saying something? I'm sorry.
I was just saying that that's pretty cool that you're doing it for different age groups.
Yeah, different age groups, and I think we may ultimately, at the end of the course, take the actors from each class, and maybe we may do one class where we actually have them perform, film them performing in a sitcom.
That'd be
You
great.
know,
Oh,
not
that's so
obviously not
cool.
TV, would just for their their own practice. So we'll give them a script, we'll help them break it down, and get them on their feet and film it.
Oh, that's so
I have to check the dates on
cool.
that. I'd love to take a course like that.
Oh yeah, oh man, definitely, yeah, it's great. So we got a classes. Very happy to see it start to fill up.
So, along your road, who would you say your biggest influences were?
My biggest influences, I have to say, Jackie Gleason is a big influence, and Rodney Dangerfield was a big influence on me.
Two of the greats.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like,
Yeah.
To the great, yeah.
I don't want to say he was underrated, but I think Jackie Gleason's comedy was underrated. Like, he was known as a great actor, but he was a really funny guy with great timing.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Comedy's all about timing, and that guy had it. I mean, he was the master. And what's interesting is that I refer to Kevin as he's kind of like the Jackie Gleason of our generation, Kevin James, because with the acting and the movies, but also I know that Jackie Gleason, when they wanted him to do The Honeymooners, he said, yes, I'll do it, but on my terms. I'm going to do it down in Miami. And they gave him the show in Miami. And very similar with Kevin. He said, yeah, I'll do a show, but we're going to do it on Long Island. So kind of similar situations. They both demanded to perform, to have the sitcom filmed where they wanted to be filmed, and not in Hollywood.
And the shows were pretty similar, too. You know, Kevin Can Wait was like a modern-day Honeymooners.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a lot of fun. Especially that first season was so much fun. Oh,
Actually, I said Kevin Can Wait. I mean, King of Queens was like a modern-day Honeymooners. You know, where he was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, the
Yeah,
husband,
for
sure.
yeah, absolutely. Without the kids, yeah, no, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's something. So, I know you also have a couple of your own podcasts, too. You want to talk about them? You have the hockey one and
yeah.
Long Island Explained?
Yeah, two of them. One is called Not Another Puckin' Podcast, Comedians on Hockey. And each week we have players call in. And we've been having a lot of fun with that. A lot of fun. Like, we've had, like, Ron Duguay from the Rangers call in, Sean Avery. We've had the author of, like, some hockey books call in. And it's kind of blending two of my favorite things, comedy and hockey. And, you know, so I got two other comedians that love hockey, and it's just, we're having a lot of fun. You know, we're talking about, we'll talk about anything really, but, you know, it always goes back to either stand-up comedy or hockey. And
Right.
when we got the hockey players on the phone, we try to, like, ask them who their favorite comedian was, blah, blah, blah. So that's taken off, I'm very happy to say. And the Long Island Explained, my friend and I, Stephen Belanger, every week we will cover a topic exclusive to Long Island. We recorded 8 episodes so far. The first few, we just like talk about the topics, like the Amityville Horror House, the Amy Fisher, Joey Buttafuoco thing. And then we decided to take phone calls. So we had Jackie the Joke Man, Martling, call in from the Howard Stern Show. And he called in for episode 5. Episode 6, we had, I think it's somebody from one of the Survivor shows, Rob Cesternino from Long Island, who was on Survivor. We had him. We talked about reality shows based on Long Island. And the last one we just did, I think, was Stuttering John Melendez, who was a lot of fun. And we talked about his days on Stern, and I think he's got a new book out as well. So we made a list of topics before we started, like this Long Island have enough to talk about for a while. And we have like pages and pages of topics between, not only between its celebrities, but between its history and some of its scandals too. I've learned more about Long Island just researching the topics, things I didn't know.
When is that on? Because I haven't seen that one yet. I've seen your hockey podcast a couple of times already, but.
Right, because the hockey podcast, the difference is the hockey podcast we do live on Facebook and then we put it onto iTunes. The Long Island one, that one just goes straight to iTunes and Podbean and iHeartRadio. It goes straight to those. So they could get it off our website at longislandexplained.com. They could find links to the episodes. That one I'm having a lot of fun with too.
I'll definitely be tuning into that one.
Yeah, and the Not Another Puckin' podcast is on Sundays at 2.
I love that name.
I know it's Sunday afternoon. Thanks. What time does it start?
2 p.m. We were 5 o'clock for a while, but the thing is, sometimes governors, the comedy clubs, they have shows at like 4 in the afternoon, so we try to get it done before any of the shows start,
Yeah, so if you want to see that, you can go to Gov's Radio and check out that.
Very cool.
And yeah, it's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah, or our Facebook page, which is Comedians on Hockey, and we're on Instagram, and, all social media.
I've noticed a lot of comedians love hockey.
I'm a big hockey fan too, but that's where
that's just something I've just been kind of, noticing.
Yeah, I'm an Islander fan, so
me too.
We got to battle that out.
That's okay.
But you played. You did you start playing again? I know last time we talked, you said you were going to try it again.
Yes, I bought all the equipment. I was playing for a couple months in June. I didn't play the summer and the fall, rather. But I keep saying this is the week. This is the week I get back on skates. And Anthony DiDomenico swears he's going to get back on skates before I do. So I'm trying to get a little bit back into shape. I've been off soda for 2 weeks, which is a big thing for me because I'm a soda crackhead and trying to get rid of the belly. So, so I just got to, it's so funny. The toughest part about playing ice hockey, especially at age 50, is getting dressed.
Yeah.
Putting on the equipment. I said, I would pay somebody money to dress me. Put my skates on, you got to lace them up and make sure they're snug in the right areas.
Right.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, man.
Yeah, I miss playing hockey, but I don't think I'd have to lose a lot of weight myself before I would even attempt that. It's not easy.
All right. Yeah. And it's great. What's great about it, I'm not looking to play full contact hockey. I'm just looking for it. If you could do anything to get cardio other than being on a treadmill, it's the best.
Yeah.
Because you're really not thinking, oh, I'm doing cardio. You're playing,
Right. Yeah, your adrenaline's focused. You have when you're running, you're just running, and that's all you're thinking about is how far have I gone, how much further I have to go. When you're in a game, it's just I got to get to the puck before he does.
Yeah, and I got to try to stay self-conscious, not to overexert myself, because you could it's the worst feeling when you're out of breath and you can't catch your breath. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to take it slow, or I was trying to take it slow. Now, when I go back, I'm gonna have to really start again. Look, first step one, learn how to stand up again on skates.
Yeah, I'd be like Bambi.
Aw.
I'd be all over the place. I know that. I was never that great of a skater to begin with, so I was more of a deck hockey player.
When I fall down, especially you're a big guy too, it takes us a long time.
Yeah, and it hurts a lot more.
It's not pretty.
There's a lot of weight going down that fall when I go down.
But I'm trying to, being that I'm a Ranger fan and I'm friends with a few of the Ranger players, I feel the podcast has been a little Ranger heavy, but I'm trying to get Clark Gillies. I got people reaching out to him. A couple old now like Steve Webb. I'm trying to get a couple players that played on both Rangers was Pat LaFontaine, played on the Islanders and Rangers.
Wow, that's
and the
huge. I might be able to help you out with Trevor Gillies.
Those guys.
Because he was actually he called in our show last week. I could probably talk to him, and I'm sure he'd be all right with being on your show as well.
Wait a second. Clark Gillies called into your show last week.
No. Trevor Gillies.
Oh, is that his son?
No, believe it or not, they're not related.
Oh,
Lies.
now who does
But-
Trevor Gillies play on the Islanders? Where does he play?
Trevor Gillies played, I think it was from 2010 to 12 or something like that. He was the one that was known as the psycho. He was just beating everybody up every time he got on the ice.
On the Islanders?
If you remember the game with Pittsburgh, where
Right.
the Islanders won like 9-3 or whatever, and it was at the time it had the record for most penalty minutes. He was part of that era.
Oh, I remember that one.
Yeah, he was the one that the refs
I
pushed
remember
off the
that
ice,
one.
and he was
Yeah, I
still
remember
yelling.
that game.
That's Trevor.
Oh, we love. We talk to anybody that has anything to do with hockey. Yesterday's podcast, we call our fan Puck Knuckles, and our viewers are Puck Knuckles. And the Puck Knuckles homework was to watch the documentary Red Army, which was about the Soviet players that came over to the United States and what they went through. Just as it was really sad because they really went through. It was like a military type training. They weren't allowed to see their family.
Right.
So we talked about the Red Army documentary, and then we had Craig Minervini call in. Craig Minervini, who is his brother's Richie Minervini, who was a comedian and also owned a comedy club called Eastside Comedy Club back in the 80s. He called in. He's the current broadcaster for the Florida Panthers. So it was pretty cool having him call in, being that he has ties to comedy and hockey.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, Sean
There's
Avery
so
was
many
a-
connections with
Sean
hockey
Avery was a
and
big one.
comedy.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I don't know any comedian that doesn't like hockey.
Oh, we had one of the first episodes. We had Sean Avery call in. And I was actually a little intimidated because he
Big
was
name.
the most hated hockey player of all time. And he
Yeah.
was on the
Why?
Rangers. He was on the Dallas Stars, and Dallas kicked him off the team for making lewd comments about one of the players' girlfriends. And so
He was an
Now I
I was
know
instigator.
a little
why,
intimidated
okay.
when he called, but then he ended up being a really, not only a very sophisticated guy, but very funny. And you know, he worked for Vogue magazine. He designed clothing, and here's this guy that was a real a pain in the ass to everybody, and everybody hated him. But the guy actually, off ice, was a different person.
It's amazing, and I was saying this last week too. I've met a lot of hockey players over the years, a lot of Islanders, especially being on Long Island, hanging out in the same places. The nicest ones I ever met were all the enforcers.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? I always found that too, that the big guys or the tough guys are the nicest guys. Like Chris Weidman is probably one of the sweetest guys I ever met. And meanwhile, he was a former MMA champion.
Yeah, he was a UFC champ.
You would never think. Yeah, I guess because I don't know about you, Dennis, but I've always had problems with short guys. Always had a problem.
They are.
Not me,
It's
with them.
true.
Napoleon
Well,
complex.
Just like the small dogs.
They
The
had a
small
pro-
dogs
they
are
had
the
a
ones that will
problem.
bite
Yeah,
you.
totally.
They had a problem with me, so it's not like I had the problem. I should say they had a problem with me, and you know, I guess it just comes with being tall, I guess.
Yeah. You also actually had another really tough guy on that show too, with Baz Rutten.
Boss Rutten, that's right.
He
Boss
was
Rutten.
he's a legit badass. I mean, I still wouldn't want to mess with that guy. He's known as one of the best trainers in the
No.
world, and when he fought, he was one of the toughest guys out there. And I
He
heard
was.
he's nothing but. I heard he's like the nicest guy.
He is unbelievably sweet, and you forget how deadly he is. And,
Yeah.
he was very nice. He was very nice to me. We would hit it off, and we keep in touch. But yeah, again, another guy, the sweetest guy in the world. But if you crossed him, forget it. Kevin James, believe it or not, is a very, he's a very nice guy. He's a little on the shy side, but he's very big into the martial arts, into the MMA. So if anybody, Kevin's got security with him, but if anybody ever came close to Kevin, he could handle himself.
I was gonna say because he was in Here Comes the Boom with Baz Rutten and a bunch of other UFC guys, and I know he was training
Right.
with them. He was legit training with them. It wasn't just movie stuff. He was really taking it seriously.
Yeah, no, he's been on since the summer. He started training, and if you look on his Instagram page, you'll see him sparring with Chris Weidman. So
Wow.
he's
That's cool.
he loves the MMA. He's friends with all those guys because Bas Rutten and him are friends a long time, and him and Chris Wyman. He's friends with Joe Rogan. You know, he loves anybody to do with the sport.
Hey, Joe Rogan was another guy. When he first started with the UFC, I thought it was a joke. I'm like, what does this guy know about martial arts? And it turns out he's an
Right.
expert.
Yeah.
Like, he not only does he know everything, he can do it too. Like, he's another guy you don't want to mess with. Joe
Right.
Rogan.
You're like, why is this
Rogan.
comedian talking about? Why do they have a comedian talking about that? But he knows this. He knows what he's doing. And
Yeah.
he's dangerous too.
Yeah, he definitely, I gained a lot of respect for him because when the UFC was struggling, he was a name at that time. And he volunteered to do it for nothing because he just loved the sport until they got off the ground. And him and Dana White were the reason why the UFC really blew up into what it is today.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to like who's that guy? Tito
Ortiz?
somebody, right? Well, the guy was a champion for a while. Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
He was fun. I always like the fighters that have like a little flash. But
And it's funny,
Real
he's
hype.
another guy, comes off like a real scumbag, but in real life, he's a nice guy.
Yeah, we have that conversation all the time where you're going to be different in different situations.
Yeah. But he was smart, too. He
Yeah.
knew how to keep himself relevant. And he's still fighting. I mean, he just fought Chuck Liddell last weekend. I mean, it was a sad fight to watch, but it's still, Chuck Liddell shouldn't have been in there. But even still, Tito is still a name. Wherever he goes, he's a big
Yeah,
name. Why?
that's true.
Not so much because of his skill, but because of the combination of the skill and his persona.
Right.
yeah, the charisma. The charisma's
Yeah.
big.
Charisma's important in entertainment.
Charisma.
You have to be charismatic in entertainment.
So yeah, so that's it. Just trying to stay positive at Camp Roach and just doing a lot of writing and getting up on stage as much as I can and taking the auditions as they come.
You have any shows coming up that you want to promote?
Oh, sure. I have at New Year's Eve, there's 2 shows at McGuire's in Bohemia. The club where I started, the club where I got discovered. I'm
That's
doing
awesome.
2 shows on New Year's Eve.
That sounds like fun.
That sounds like so much fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's a lot of fun. I think it's like a 7 o'clock show and a 10 o'clock show, I think it is.
How much do you love performing there, knowing that that's where you got discovered?
Oh, well, that's my home club, even before Kevin. So that place has a lot of. It was the first time I ever got on stage there. It was a graduation show at a comedy class I took where whole family was there, and
awesome.
it was. That's my favorite. Yeah, that's like my living room. That place.
It's like your backyard, pretty much.
Pretty much, yeah, and it's a good place to because I'm so comfortable there. I'll try a lot of new stuff out. The owner's great too. That always helps when the owner's great.
And he's, again, if you haven't seen Chris, go check out one of his shows. I had the honor of performing with him one night in Broadway in Manhattan, which was a lot of fun. But I've seen you a couple times before that, too, so it's...
My family's seen you a lot. I unfortunately haven't gotten to see you yet.
Oh.
Yeah, we got to get Teresa out more.
I know. I have a little girl. She's 16 months, so I never leave my house.
Oh.
But I always stalk all your videos, and your Ronkonkoma was my favorite.
Oh, thanks. I'm hoping to put another one out in a few months. We shall see.
Yeah, I know, that's a big
We'll
thing
be
now,
waiting
too.
for it.
It's getting that viral video out there that gets you noticed a lot, too. I know it helped Vic DiBattista out a lot.
That thing just blew up. It blew up more on other people's YouTube pages. I didn't know how to protect it or anything like that. And I just wanted to do a video that people, to make a few friends laugh. And it's like well over 1 million hits now.
Wow.
I love it.
Thanks.
I love it.
We
I
got to
love
start
it so
doing
much.
videos.
Thanks. That was fun. Yeah, it was fun to do, too.
But yeah, again, catch Chris at McGuire's on New Year's Eve and check out both his podcasts, Not Another Fucking Podcast on Govs Radio, and Long Island Explained, which you can find on iTunes and iHeartRadio, you said?
Yeah.
And anything else you want to push before you go?
What's that?
Anything else you want to push before you go? Oh, the acting class. Where would they go to find out info on that?
The acting class is at 3 Stages Studios in Bethpage. I think there's a Facebook page. I'm looking it up right now. 3 Stages Studios. It's in Bethpage. and they could look it up on, here it is, Three Stage Studios, the number 3, the word stage studios, that we got a Facebook page. And it's also threestagestudios.com, the number 3, threestagestudios.com.
All right. Well, thanks for calling in.
Thank
I
you
definitely
so
look forward to
much.
working with you again.
It was nice to meet you over the phone.
Yeah, nice to meet you on the phone. And yeah, I'll see you on there, definitely. Thank you.
Thank
we'll
you
have
so
to make
much.
that happen in person one
Yes,
day.
I would love that. That would make my life. That'd be fantastic.
Cool, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks again. We'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You
You
too.
too. Great guy, right?
Oh my God.
You have no idea. You got to meet him in person.
You know, my family loves him, and they've seen him at Governor's before, and I
Right.
believe it was at Governor's. Might be wrong. And
well, he performs
they-
governors a lot,
they
so it's very possible.
talk about how great he is all the time. And I always get really jealous because, as you know, if you've been watching the show, I never leave my house.
Right.
So, you know, I just thank God for the internet.
Now, when I first officially met him, because obviously I knew who he was,
Right.
I was performing in the little room at Governor's, and he was headlining the main stage in the main room at Governor's. And in the back, like where his green room is, we have a common hallway. We have our little closet,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
with the
yeah.
nobodies, and he's got his green
Yeah.
room. And he came over and introduced himself, which I thought was really cool.
That's cool.
And Billy that was the one show Billy Mira went to.
Billy.
So he went down there because I was there, because Chris was there, a few other people he knew was there, so he stopped in to say hi. And Chris goes, Billy goes, I want to introduce you to someone. He goes over to Chris, and I was like, oh yeah, I said hi to him already. He goes, oh, you know Billy? Come in the green room, hang out. So he was really cool, very
That's
inviting.
so cool.
After the show was over, you know how everybody like hangs out in the bar and says
Yeah,
goodbye
yeah,
to
yeah.
everybody and whatever. Chris came over to me and goes, how was your set? Did you have a good time? He's just a nice guy like that, which is awesome. Before I got involved in comedy, I always heard bad things.
Yeah.
You got to watch out for these people. Everybody will throw you under the bus. They'll screw you. I've not found that at all. Everyone's been very helpful, especially the higher level they are, the more helpful they seem to be, which I
is
want to
so
lead into
cool.
what's going on Sunday.
Yes. That's what I was going to say.
I was segueing in.
Smart.
You want to let them know what's going on Sunday?
So Sunday, well, you let them know because you're the
All right.
comedian.
Well, let's go back to the beginning. For one of our October specials, we had DJ Joey on.
October 22nd.
Because he worked for Chamber of Horrors,
Yes.
right? Did I get that right?
October we had
Yes.
our Halloween specials because Dennis and I both love Halloween, and DJ Joey spoke about something he does at Christmas. So what he does is he visits a sick child on Christmas Eve dressed as Santa. He gets everything on their Christmas list to make sure that they have the best holiday possible, take away some of the stress of being sick. So they could really just focus on being happy and, not
Right.
focus on being sick. So this year is his 25th year. It's going to be his last year doing it, to the extent he usually does it. So
Because he has his own issues as
he
well.
has
It's
his
getting
own.
a little harder to do
it's
it.
getting harder for him to do. He has his own health issues, and then he has his own family, his own grandchild. So
Right.
there's only so much. You can only spread yourself so thin.
Right.
So we wanted to show him support. We wanted to show the child that he's seeing this year, Alex, who's 8 years old, support. So we started a GoFundMe, but then
Which went nowhere.
unfortunately, it really went nowhere. And
I do kind of understand because I know everybody's raising money for everything on Facebook right now. I know
crowdfunding is a
it's
huge
tough.
thing. It's a beautiful thing. It's a huge thing, and I feel like it is really tough. I feel like it's really tough for everybody right now.
Right.
I haven't really spoken to anybody that hasn't been going through their own issues. Maybe it also wasn't explained well, which would be my fault as I wrote it. But
It was all of us though too, because I was promoting it on here and on Facebook as well, and we had a lot of people sharing it, but maybe the point just didn't get out there.
I agree, and I think we are trying to figure out what can we do to show DJ Joey and to show Alex and his mother support. And that's
So we had Rich Walker on, and I came up with the idea kind of right before the show. If people don't want to just give money, maybe they want to get something in return for it.
right,
So I was thinking, hey, a lot of comedians do a lot of charity things. Maybe we could do one.
right.
So I brought it up to, I kind of thought of it on the air, and I said, we'll talk afterwards. Rich was more than happy to help out.
Rich is awesome.
And I've never, I know a lot of these comedians produce shows and stuff like that. I've never really done it. Could I do it? Maybe, but I was inexperienced in it, so I reached out to a very helpful friend of mine, Mike Keegan. And he goes, no problem. So Mike reached out to a couple of his friends. He reached out to Coasters, the home bar where we all go and everything. So we wanted to kind of keep, it was short notice, and we wanted a place that would welcome it without taking away from anything, where they didn't have anything going on.
Absolutely.
So we set the date, which was next Sunday, or this
December
Sunday, I
9th.
should say, December 9th.
December 9th.
At 6 o'clock, and Rich cleared the schedule, made sure he could be there. Mike obviously is going to be there. Carla's going to be there, Carla Okerson. And then we reached out to some other people, and we were shocked because we also have Paul Bond.
Paul Bond, my
National
favorite.
headliner. Again, another great guy, very influential in my career.
Paul Bond is one of my favorite
Actually, I don't even call it I have a career yet, my hobby. But Paul has a career. He is a professional comedian. A lot of them going there are professional comedians.
But even on top of the fact that they're professional comedians, they're good people. They're good to the core. Like as
Well, that's
Dennis
what I want
is
to say. They
saying,
get paid for this, and they're giving up their night
they're volunteering.
to do this for a good cause.
Yeah, and that's a big deal. And I mean, I'm so thankful for them, and I'm so thankful that they're doing that and they're volunteering their time, and I don't know, it means a lot.
I'm looking forward to it and worried as well because I'm going to be out there with all basically main headliners.
Dennis is hosting.
So I'm going to host because it's only fitting because I'm not. I know I'm not upstaging any of these. Not that anyone's looking to upstage.
Yeah, I mean.
But I got to tell you, Paul does bring out the best of me because I think my best 2 nights so far.
I'm so excited to see everybody. I really
So-
am. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be out for once because this is very important, I feel, and I think it's important to show everybody support. I mean,
Yeah.
For Carla and Mike and Rich and Paul to be there and volunteering, it's really important that
And you
I
never
make
know.
it.
I mean, people stop in that place all the time, so other people might get up and get on the mic. You don't know.
Yeah.
And we're going to be doing a 50-50 as well. So at least this, and it's only $20.
Yep.
You can't see any of these guys for $20
Yeah.
unless they're doing something
Like this.
on this level like this. But for charity, I know Paul's doing something actually next Saturday too for charity for the adoption center, I believe, which I might try to go to.
Him and his wife, are they just, the things that they put on Facebook, the things that they do for the cats and the cat rescue, they're just such good people.
That's what I was
I
gonna
can't
say.
say enough wonderful things about them, really.
He spends so much of his time and money to help cats because a lot of people, everyone loves dogs and this, that, and the other thing. The cats a lot of times get brushed aside.
Yep. Well,
So he took up. I'm gonna take care of the cats.
and someone that I volunteered for, a few years at a rescue, and I worked with cats and kittens only, and it's true. Everybody was rushing to volunteer with the dogs, and
Right.
really nobody wanted to volunteer with the cats, for whatever reason. So the people that were with the cats, you really put your work in because
Yeah.
you're doing extra because there's only so many volunteers. So the fact that he does that is fantastic.
And I just wanted. This has been a pretty high month for me as far as comedy goes. Last week I was at the Gateway Comedy Club and Paul Veneer was a headliner, and I don't know if you've ever seen him before, but that guy's hysterical. He's called a comedy tornado for a reason. He does everything. He sings. He plays the guitar. He plays the keyboard. He does props, puts masks on, brings people on stage. A bunch of my friends went to the show and they got a first-hand taste because he's
That's
one of the guys.
awesome.
I don't want
I
to say he
love
picks on
that.
people in the audience, but he involves everybody.
That's cool, though.
The week before, another really talented local guy, Chris Monty, was a headliner at the show, and he actually performed at my graduation from Stand Up University. I got to see a little piece of him.
That's cool.
And I was like, wow, this guy's really funny. And then when I heard he was going to be at Gateway, I was like, I want to be on that show. I had no idea because I got to see a full set from him, and man, that guy had you laughing from beginning to end.
Awesome.
I see Janelle's listening, and she's been very helpful too as far as everything. And she's gone to the last couple of weeks, and I'm glad she enjoyed it. She's also going to be pushing this week. And I want to give a shout out to the people that do support me. I know sometimes a 2-minute ride for people is too far to go, but not for her. As a matter of fact, our friend Dana drove from Inwood to Ronkonkoma to do my show last week. So,
Awesome.
you know, it's cool when you get support from friends like that, because that's, you know, especially at my level,
It
I need
means
that.
a lot.
I don't have that national recognition that my name on the door is going to fill the place. I have to bring the people.
Right.
But outside of that, this week I'm very excited about. This is just going to cap off. It's not even my last show this month, but it's just going to cap off the way it's been going. Because I went from great headliner, now I'm performing a night with headliners.
Yeah,
You know, a
yeah.
whole bunch of them at one night, and it's just, you know, I'm excited. It's going to be. A good time.
I'm really excited. It's I'm so excited to finally be able to be involved and physically be there instead of just
Yeah.
supporting from, you know, my computer. And, you know, it's going to be such a good day with such good energy for such a good cause.
Yeah.
You know, and 'tis the season. It's all about giving back and you know, being kind to one another.
And that's really what the Christmas spirit is. It doesn't have to be religious or whatever else. It's just something happens that time of year where people do want to be a little bit more charitable than maybe other points of the year.
Yeah, you know, and
So.
I wish you could stretch it out all year, but
Yeah.
you know what? If you're going to get it, at least there is a timing where people remember to be kind to one another and give back. Speaking of that, Happy Hanukkah to those of you that
That's
celebrate.
right. Yeah, because we didn't get to touch on that yet. So happy Hanukkah. Also, want to say rest in peace. George H.W. Bush passed away.
Yes.
Again, we really don't get too political on the show, but when, you know, I mean, the guy, not only was he president, vice president, he spent his life basically in the government. He was a war hero.
Yes.
He
He had a
was,
beautiful marriage with his
yeah,
wife.
over
Such
70
a fairy tale.
years they were married.
Fairy
What was it,
tale
76,
stories.
74
Something.
years, whatever. I can't see doing any. I can't even see breathing for 76 years, so I don't know how he did it. That's just, you know.
Real fairy tale. I was reading about it. Beautiful.
Hey, Joey just tuned in. Yeah, you can go back. We were just actually talking about the event that's going on Sunday.
Coaster 6 o'clock.
DJ Joey's going to be there. We're going to present him. 100% of the money is going right to Alex.
Yep.
We're not taking anything. Nothing's getting pushed anywhere else. 100% of the money's going to him.
And for those of
Ultimately, the
you
goal was to try to get him an insulin pump, but they can be about $5,000, so I don't know if that's going to happen. But we at least want to make sure this kid has the best Christmas ever.
Yes, for those of you that have tuned in before, you know that Alex is battling type 1 diabetes, a rare type, and you know it's been really difficult for him and for his mom, who is dealing with the financial stress and the emotional stress. So for him to have a wonderful holiday, you know, you want to see this kid smile. You want to see
Yeah.
this kid really enjoy Santa while he's still a little kid,
Yeah,
you know,
when it still means something. You know?
right? Yeah, that's such a big deal.
Because we do lose it as adults.
You know, I
Unless
really,
you have a kid, then you
I
live it
really,
through that.
I'm
but-
so excited. I
Yeah.
bought my daughter a Christmas tree. You know, I went crazy for her because it's so exciting and it's so fun.
We're pretty much out of time, but again, just to recap, I want to thank Trevor Gillies for calling in last week. It was a great show. Again, Chris Roach calling in tonight.
Yes.
Great guy. Great show again tonight. Make sure you come Sunday.
Please come Sunday.
It's at Coasters Tavern. You can find it on any of our pages. An event is made.
It's floating all over between our personal pages and our like pages. It's a public event. Anyone can come. I believe is it 21 and over? Because
Yeah, it's a bar, so
it's
it's
a
going
bar,
to be 21
so it's 21 and
over.
over. But you know, it's going to be such a fun night.
Like our page, share our show, check out In the Cage with Cyclone. His show is right before ours.
And really, all the shows on
yeah, all the
Strong
shows.
Island are
Yeah.
great.
And that's pretty much it. Next week we're going to recap the event. We're not going to have anybody on.
You're
just
stuck
gonna
with
be
just us. So be prepared. We're going to talk about the event. It's going to be fun. For those of you that unfortunately won't be able to make it, at least we'll get to tell you about it.
And we will see you next week.
Bye.